Attention all viewers, the program you are about to watch, Paranormal Adventures, is for entertainment purposes. Witness accounts described herein are claimed to be true and accurate. Some names of people have been replaced to protect individual privacy. For the past decade, Kenzie has documented paranormal experiences and events. People interested in exploration of the paranormal are advised to seek oversight by qualified individuals.
So Greg and I, we're gonna go look around this place. The reflection. I scare myself all the time. Here we go. Hello, my name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
How did you die? Ever since I was a child, I was drawn to mystery and adventure. As I grew into a career of a filmmaker, I knew documentary my escapades was a must. When I'm not filming my animal adventures or searching for Sasquatch, I explore other projects that makes my heart skip a beat. Is anyone here? I invite you to join me as we explore the paranormal and other related unknowns. To a place in view that is extremely haunted. Spirits, demons, poltergeists, an occasional friendly ghost. Around the world, there is thousands of people who claim that they see these paranormal entities. If what they're saying is true, well, this would be incredible. In this documentary, I'm going to be meeting some very interesting paranormal detectives, and they're going to take me to allegedly some haunted locations. Now, I'm a bit of a skeptic when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I truly want to believe. Well, this is going to be so much fun. My name is Jason Kenzie, and this is my paranormal adventures. Since ancient times, ghost stories, tales of spirits who return from the dead to haunt the places they left behind, have been folklore of many cultures from around the world. A rich subset of these tales involve historical figures ranging from queens and politicians to writers and gangsters, many of whom died early, violent or mysterious deaths. Ghost hunting is the process of investigating locations that are reported to be haunted by ghosts. Typically, a ghost hunting team will attempt to collect evidence supporting the existence of paranormal activity. Ghost investigators use a variety of electronic devices, including EMF meters, digital thermometers, both handheld and static digital video cameras, including thermographic and night vision cameras, as well as digital audio recorders. Well, you can't get any more exciting than this. I'm on my way to Chilliwack right now. I'm going to be meeting this lady. She claims that she can see ghosts. That's right. I'm pretty sure she said that she can also speak to them too. But you know what? Don't take my word for it. I'm just excited to hear what she has to say.
Hello. My name is Thelma Mornes. I was born with the ability to see what you would call ghosts, spirits. I studied for many years and learned to become a medium, doing a lot of different things in the psychic world, working with people who were dying, doing healings, doing rescue circles.
You've never had anything that scared you, except for actual humans?
Yeah, humans scare me. The ghosts don't scare me at all. Well, that's because I've learned how to protect myself from evil ones too. And I haven't had a problem with that too much. I refer to myself as a sensitive.
Used to be.
I didn't used to be. This isn't something that goes away. You have it your whole life if you have it.
How old were you when you noticed that you could see spirits?
When my father came back after he died, I was 6.
And do you remember that?
Oh, absolutely. Just like you're sitting there, I can go back and still see him sitting there on my bed.
And was he talking to you?
Oh, yeah. He stayed with me right until I was in my 20s. I would see him all the time.
So what would he say to you?
You know, that he loved me and you know, how I was doing, how was I doing in school, you know, and I'd ask him, why is Mommy so mad? Why is she so angry all the time at me when I tell her that I see you? And he tried to explain it to me, but I didn't get it. I was too young. Later on, of course, I understood, but I went through some real traumatic with my mother.
Did your mother, could she see spirits too?
You know, I think she could, but she wouldn't admit to it because she thought it was from the devil.
So do you think that she may have seen?
But she wasn't my real mother, okay?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
She wasn't my birth mother.
Oh, so your real mother?
I don't know who she is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if she had that gift.
I don't know. I was born with it. I came into this planet with it. I mean, I still remember being born. I remember being on the other side waiting to be born.
So did you see a lot of spirits when you were like that age, 6, like in your place?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And was any of them like...
To me, it didn't make any difference whether you were alive or dead. You were there.
Really?
And
so they would just be walking around your house, or they'd be standing there?
Or out in the field, or you know, in the playground or whatever. I'd see somebody and I'd go, who is that? And people would say, well, there's nobody there. Oh, okay. So I learned to, you know, shut it off.
So that would be odd. You're watching My Little Pony and like 20 ghosts sitting there watching with you.
Could be. There could be a bunch in here right now. There are a few actually right now. Yeah.
Where?
Just 2 behind you.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they female or male?
I just didn't zoom into them. I'd have to go deep in order to do that.
So what do they look like?
I just feel them. I don't really, sometimes I do see them like they're just like you.
Yeah.
But most of the time they're there. I feel their energy.
So what's your scariest incident that you've had?
I've never been afraid of them.
No?
Never.
So...
I've been more afraid of certain humans that I've seen. Like I've come across at least 3 serial killers in my life.
And what's the most famous one?
Oh, what's the name of that? Wells Gray Park guy.
The Wells Gray murders.
Yeah.
So can you tell me what happened there? In August of 1982, David Shearing stalked and murdered 3 generations of a family while they were out on a summer camping trip at Wells Gray Provincial Park in East Central, British Columbia. But the Wells Gray guy, he looked at me and I looked at him and I yelled at Chris and Graham, get in the car now. Drove like a bat out of hell out of there. Kids were like, what the hell's going on? You were going there to go camping?
Yeah, we were. We'd parked. And even in his statement, he said there was another camper there, but at a different spot. And there was a woman with 2 boys and a husband. All of a sudden, she started screaming and yelling at the kids, pack it up, pack it up. We were going to stop for lunch. We did not get lunch till we got to Sycamoose. Yeah, I'm very sensitive to that. Saved my life many times. Also, going for a trip into Vancouver one time, I got as far as the car and then I just started shaking. And I said, no, we're not going, because we were just going to go to Abbotsford. Yeah. And there was that 25 or 35 car crash on the freeway. Yeah, we'd have got caught in that. I've had so many experiences like that. These spirits that you see, do they warn you sometimes? I guess they must, because even going through this cancer thing, they were there. They were all there. When I was in the hospital, I saw some really scary shit. Like spirits? Yeah, coming out of the walls and out of the ceiling, and it was terrifying. Like, what do they look like? Black. Black, just black. And what they do is they feed off fear. That's what they do. Yeah. I'm sitting here listening to Thelma, and I couldn't believe what my ears were hearing. It is extraordinary what she is saying. Imagine if what she is telling me is true. Well, this changes everything. And then I remember a time I went into the basement of an alleged haunted house.
and caught on camera something that I couldn't explain.
So Andy, if you can hear me, I want you to come by this light. I want you to say something to us. We believe that Andy is the one that died in this house. He's the one that built this house, right, Andy? Is that right? And I'm going to leave this down here for about half an hour, and I'll leave you with the cats. Andy, what's up?
While I leave the video camera recording, I go upstairs to interview the owners of the house. There is no paranormal activity for at least 20 minutes. And then the unexplained happens. A ball of energy, or a spirit ball, manifests from the wall and shoots towards the camera and then disappears, followed by another ball of energy that seems to come from below, from right to left, followed by another orb that shoots from the ceiling all the way down.
You guys scared me. Hi, kitties. So, Andy, did you have a good chat with the kitties? Did ya? I hope so. There's a kitty.
I'd go into hospital and work with people who were dying.
Yeah.
I would see all kinds of spirits and things. You go into a bar, I could tell you, you would never walk into a bar after I tell you what I see there.
What did you see?
You see all kinds of things sucking on people.
Like succubuses.
Yeah, worse. Succubus is usually a sexual thing, but these, they're really sucking the life force right out of you. And you see that around alcoholics. You see all that kind of stuff. They're attached to the belly, anywhere on the body. You know, there might be 4 or 5 of them on an alcoholic if they're really bad.
So are these creatures, or like, are they?
Some of them are.
Human, or are they more from like evil?
They're more from evil. There are human form because they have 2 legs, 2 arms, a head, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But they're all horrible looking things, just horrible looking.
Have you sat down and just talked with one? Like a nice one?
A nice one, oh yeah, I've talked to a few. There was one case that I had in Vernon.
So when you say case?
Yeah, I used to go out and do exorcisms, sort of, exorcism's a big word for what I did, but I would go and I'd remove spirits from homes that were bad. And this one in particular, he wasn't really terrible, but the baby would wake up constantly just screaming and screaming and screaming, and the mother knew about me, so she came and asked if I could help them. So I went over there and I walked into her house, and they had, the bedrooms were upstairs. It was a really old house, kind of dilapidated, and I walked up there and there was this toilet. The little bathroom was there, and on the other side of the bathroom was the baby's room, and the crib was pushed right up basically against where the water closet part of the toilet is. And I walked in there and I walked into the baby's room and I looked around and I could feel something. And then I went into the bathroom and I lifted the lid of the toilet, the back of the toilet thing, and I waited for a few seconds and there it was. And I said, "What are you doing here?" And we had quite a nice conversation. And I said, "You know, do you want to live the rest of your life sitting in a toilet, making a baby cry? Is that what you're all about?" You know, and so I said, "You see that over there?" And turned around, he looked. I said, that's called white light. You just go into that. There's some helpers there, they're going to help you. Just go.
So why do you think they don't go to the white light if it's there?
Because they don't know. I have done rescue circles where people are dead. I have to have 7 people to do a rescue circle because I need the 7 points of the star to do it. And then I need a doorkeeper where the spirits can walk through.
Yeah.
And I did an amazing one up in Campbell River, and thousands came through. All the sailors that had died, you know, during the war, First Nations people, all kinds of people came through. And I finally had to shut it down because I just couldn't do it anymore. But you could see them just going into the light, you know. But they didn't know.
Does it drain your energy?
It can, but I'm very well trained. I know how to take care of myself. My big thing is the healing aspect of the psychic area.
Yeah.
I love the healing. That is where I live. And I even worked with the British Psychic Society.
So when you do an exorcism, is it very similar to what we know of on TV?
God, no.
No, what happens?
That's all BS. Really, I mean, yeah, I studied with the priests for a year, and their exorcism is very different from what I do. I go in, I can see the spirit sometimes I just sense them. I have a conversation, I speak to them, ask them if they would like to talk to me, and then from there on I do question them. What's your reason for doing this? Why are you doing this? Are you coming from a place of anger? Are you coming from a place of love? Whatever.
Have you ever been like touched, punched, grabbed?
Oh yeah,
Anything of the sort?
yeah, I've been touched.
Yeah.
I haven't had anybody hurt me.
That was an interesting conversation I had with Thelma. She sounds like such a nice person, and her experiences with the paranormal, that's incredible. I was sad that I had to leave, but right now I'm on my way to meet a mother and her daughter. They have a spirit that haunts their place. Hopefully I might be able to capture the spirit on film. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
So just state your name and tell me about your residence.
My name is Mama Bear, and I live in this apartment. When it was first built in about 1910, 1911, they were luxury apartments. And now they're just apartments. I've been here 34 years, and in 34 years, I've seen this spirit 3-4 times.
And what does the spirit look like?
She doesn't have any defined features. You just know from the way she's standing and how slim she is, and you just get the sense that it's a she.
So what makes you think it's a she? Do you see anything that makes it look like a she?
No, you really don't see any defined features, but it's just, there's something about the way she stands and the way she moves.
Where do you see this spirit?
She seems to come out of my pantry and go in through the kitchen, and then she disappears.
What are you usually doing when you see this spirit?
Usually I'm sitting in here.
You just watching TV?
Just watching TV.
And from the corner of your eye?
More than that, actually. I usually have the chair back, so I see quite a bit of her.
Do you ever hear footsteps?
No.
Do you think it's a good spirit?
Don't feel any malice off her.
Huh, and you don't feel scared at all?
No, not at all. She seems very peaceful and doesn't stay around very long. It's maybe a matter of seconds that it takes her to make that little trip.
So do you think if I do any kind of EVP tonight, or maybe just point the camera in that direction with night vision, we might be able to see her walk by or float by or dance?
I don't think she dances. She does float by, though. You don't see any feet. I have no idea if she'll show up.
I'm going to talk to your daughter, and it was so nice talking with you.
Thank you, you too.
Get out of here.
Hi, my name is Debbie. My name is Robin.
And you guys live where?
Sorry.
No, go ahead, keep going.
Oh, we are residents in the same building as Mama Bear. And we too have experienced our own episodes with our friend Spirit.
Is that what your name is? Is Spirit? That's the name of the
Spirit. She's not a ghost. She's not a ghost.
No.
And so tell me, what have you seen?
I see her maybe 2 or 3 times now, just kind of hovering in the hallway. She doesn't make me feel scared. Almost like I would like to welcome her in. It's almost like she's overlooking the parlor in which this room probably was.
And have you seen?
I have seen her one time, and that was when I was watching TV, and I thought it was one of my cats out there, so I just turned, and then I see this woman floating by, and that was it.
And was there any detail in this woman?
No, I just saw her floating by. I also have experienced a few times when I'd be in the bedroom sitting on the bed watching TV that I actually feel like someone's actually climbing on the bed to me, but yet there's nothing there, and the cats are not in there. Debbie's not in there, so.
Is the bed moving? Is it actually
I can
creaking?
feel like if someone was actually walking on the bed, and you can feel somebody coming up, and then it's gone.
Wow. See, that would scare the snot out of me.
It did the first time, but the last couple times, I'm okay with it.
So every time you guys have seen it floating around, was it always nighttime?
Yes.
Yeah.
And was it after midnight?
No.
I saw her more around like just after dinner time.
Yeah, it would have been later evening, but not.
Sounds like it could be one of those 5 o'clock in the evening ghosts. Do you think tonight, if we turn off all the lights and point the camera that direction, and if I scream out, "Spirit, come to me," do you think Spirit might come?
That's the name of our cat, so probably
Oh.
yes if you give her a snack. Just kidding, that's not her name. Who knows what she would do?
I would love to see that.
You know what? I think that we should turn this to night vision and see if we can find any spirits. Oh, it's a kitty! This is the area where they say they've seen this apparition. Oh, there she is! Explain to me where you see this.
I quite literally see her right here. I believe Robin is of the similar. Yeah, I just see she just flows like a little wave.
And so in this room here,
There is a creepy shaft in this room.
you want to show it to me?
Oh, you want to see it? It's crazy.
Okay,
Yeah,
come.
come on in.
We're going to see the shaft. Well, that didn't sound too good.
Now, who knows what this ever was before? It's like a little secret window.
Yeah, let's see
Go
this.
ahead, look over there.
This wins awards.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
okay,
freaky,
it's
all
all
right.
pretty
Oh, yeah.
As I'm looking at this shaft, I'm wondering if maybe this lady had fallen to her death. See if I can capture any EVPs. So, hello. Is there anybody here right now that likes to float from one room to the next? Do you see this light right here? Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me how you died? And when you're in the bathroom, do you actually use it, like ghost style? It's a good question. Can you at least say hello? Do you know who I am? But what do you mean you don't know who I am? Come on, it's Jason Kenzie. After investigating for a little while more, and with no ghostly action going on, I headed out to meet up with a paranormal group named the ColdSpotters. But before I do that, I have to make a quick stop. I'm on the border of Coquitlam and Port Coquitlam, and right here is Brianna. This is a tragic case, and she was shot in the head, and she lost her life just right here. I'm gonna do an EVP session, see if I can catch any of her voices. Yeah, let's see what happens.
And I woke up to the news saying that, there was a young girl murdered in a black truck. in Port Coquitlam, and my first thought was, oh my God, maybe that's Brianna. And then I thought, no, that's not Brianna, because Brianna doesn't have a black truck.
I was at work that day. I received a phone call from my brother-in-law, Sean's dad's brother, which was unusual for me to get a call from work from him. And he told me that he was really sorry, but that our niece had called and said that she had seen Sean's car on TV with the story of the 2 people that had been found killed that morning. And I had heard that story on the radio in the morning and paid no attention to it. And he suggested that I call the police just to be sure. So I did.
Carol, it's Troy, and that was Brianna, and my heart just stopped. You know, I just started yelling at him, and I hung up the phone and I ran to my girlfriend's office and had said to her that was Brianna.
Her boyfriend belonged to the Red Scorpion gang. The police do not know if either she was the main target of the hit or if they thought that she would be with her boyfriend. Brianna, do you know that your mother misses you with all her heart? Is there anything you want to say to me that I can say back to your mother? Can you tell me how you died? Come to this light right here. You can talk into this light and I can hear you. There was a lot of people that miss her. I came here a few years ago and I asked this question. Brianna, is there anything you want to say to me that I can say back to your mother? And I swear I got an EVP that said, I don't want to, in a girl's voice. Then I asked the question, how did you die? And I got an EVP back that said, a gun, and a male's voice right afterwards that said, go. As soon as I ask this question, you can hear a disembodied scream of a female, followed by a male's voice that says a gun, then tells me to go. Come here and tell us what your name is. How did you die? Brianna, was that you that talked to me a few years ago? Can you give me a sign that you're here? Brianna, I have to go now. I have another place I have to be at. I will be back. Do you want me to come back? Okay. I will talk to you later. See you, Brianna. I'm late now to meet up with Amanda, Robb, Greg, and Demia. I only hope that tonight I can capture some interesting paranormal. At least something throw me across the room.
Hello, I'm Maia, and I'm going to tell you some stories about a lovely old location that was built in the 1950s and is currently abandoned. After some research of the location and gathering ghost stories, we have found that they have full-bodied apparitions, items being thrown and moved, disembodied voices, full-bodied apparitions, and we've had a few doors slamming right in front of us. Unfortunately, not recorded on video. And then this is where Jason comes in, and hopefully he can get some evidence out of it.
Okay, now I'm with the rest of the group. We have to sneak in. Go. Going in. Now that we are inside the abandoned hospital, let me introduce you to the rest of the team. And bear with me as they tell their stories as we do our investigation. This is going to be great. Robb and his slippers.
You can sneak up on. My name's Robb Demarest. I've been investigating the paranormal, believe it or not, for about 40 years now. I've appeared on 9 television shows, and I've investigated spirits in, I believe, 56 countries. I was on Ghost Hunters International on Sci-Fi. I was on Seekers in Malaysia. I was on Against Superstition. I was on Destination Truth in Peru.
What has been the most exciting show that you were on?
I would say the most exciting show I was on, Ghost Hunters International, we investigated a location known as Clark Air Force Base. This was for people who were injured in the Vietnam War. They weren't sure they could get them back to the United States for care. A lot of U.S. soldiermen passed away there. Now, there's one part you didn't see on TV. We went down to the morgue area, the basement, where we had quite a bit of activity because we had so many voices asking for help. Now, I said, maybe the most help I can provide you is to let you know that the war is over. And I had my tape recorder running. It wasn't until 2 days later I found that tape recorder and listened, and there was a very strong male voice that said, "Who won?"
Really? And, well, wouldn't that be kind of cool if you heard that in real time and you were able to answer?
What a difference that would have made. If I could have said to him, here is what you've been waiting decades to know, instead of just wandering away.
Yeah.
But we were on a show that we were investigating, we were at the hotel, we were on to the next country. So you had to do your best with the time period you had.
You can sit here and tell me that you believe 100% that ghosts are real.
I can tell you for a fact right now, 100% the phenomenon that we call ghosts, whatever they may be, is absolutely real. Are they the spirits of our ancestors, great-grandma? Are they demons, angels? That I don't know yet.
A very important question is, when we actually go into these haunted locations and, it hits the fan, will I be able to outrun you?
I ran track through middle school and high school. I also played 3 varsity sports. I really doubt you can get past me. But I would like to ask you a question.
Okay.
Why do it? There's one thing, nobody's going to ask you, is Sasquatch going to follow me back to my house? When you do what we do, and I don't tell everyone this, there is inherent negativity. Why even bother to get into this?
For me, I love the adventure of it. I like the danger of it. I like the mystery of it. I really like the new friendships that I make while doing this. And I really want to believe. I want to be able to say to people, look, I've had an experience. I've seen a Class A ghost. And I need to see a Class A ghost or spirit for me to believe. A knock on the wall won't cut it. Maybe if a chair flung across the room might do it. But I want to be able to see like an apparition. Something. Have you ever seen an apparition? Like a full body?
5 to 6 times.
Really?
It does happen. What if you get exactly what you're asking for? Something really dark comes out and says, oh, you wanted to meet me? Here I am. I'm sticking with you. What are you going to do then?
I'm going to say, you listen here. I've come very close to maybe these Bigfoots. So they scared the fuck out of me, and you're scaring the fuck out of me. I'll probably just, in my hand, and just throw it at them. Maybe. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea. I'll freak out, but I'll stay calm. I will not back down. I will not run. Not yet. If everyone runs, I might follow. But my motto is you stand your ground, especially when you're in the forest looking for these Bigfoot creatures, because you're in their domain. And there's no point in running, because if they want to kill you, they're going to kill you no matter what. And I'll do that with ghosts too.
Here's my guarantee to you. Before this is over, you're going to say, this changed my belief about the existence of ghosts.
Show us that you're here. As we were discussing going into one of the rooms where activity has been seen, I noticed that Greg's camera setup was perfect, just in case we get visited by any spirits.
My name is Greg Mansfield, and I've been a researcher into the paranormal since 2007 and an investigator since 2011. I've been fascinated in ghosts since I was a kid, but really got active in researching local ghosts, Ghosts of Vancouver, which is my website and book, since 2007. Really have been active in the actual investigations at actual haunted locations since 2011.
So have you had some really cool interactions with spirits?
Yes, actually. If you'd asked me that question a few years ago, I might have said no, still hoping to, but I have indeed, most recently, actually.
And so what happened?
Well, the first thing that pretty much blew my mind was I was researching with a group at a haunted mansion in North Burnaby. And there were 5 or 6 of us on the team there. And we were doing what's called an EVP session in the dining room of this old house. And by EVP, I mean electronic voice phenomenon. So we had our recorders at a table in the dining room, this little table we'd set up. And a fellow investigator and I sat there, plugged into those recorders in real time. So the idea being that if you can't hear a ghost or an entity through your ears, perhaps it may be caught through the sensitive microphone. And we know that there's a ghost of a little girl in this place, amongst others. And so I tried calling out and asking the little girl if she would come forward and if she was there and if she would talk to us, and there was absolutely nothing going on. And then my fellow researcher kind of jumped in. She said, "Do you mind if I ask?" I said, "Oh, please do." She said, "Let's play a game. Let's do the alphabet game, shall we?" And she called out, here we are in a dark room, and she called out A, B, C, D, E, F. And then a couple of seconds later, you could just faintly hear through our recorders this little female voice say, F. My fellow investigator then asked out, "How old are you?" And we heard this little voice reply with 5. And I've thought about that for a long time. And I think what the issue is that we have an entity there, perhaps a little girl who passed on, and she's there in the house. Is she stuck? Does she want to be there? We don't know. But the thing is, at 5 years old, would she have known the alphabet? Maybe not. That's why she didn't repeat A, B, or carry on the alphabet.
A lot of paranormal investigators believe that a sign of a little girl means that it could be something more evil.
I've heard that too. In this case, from the stories of this particular haunted place in Burnaby, we know that it was for a while a Catholic girls' school.
Oh.
In the sort of first half of the 20th century. This ghost of this little girl has been seen many times by caretakers.
Really?
Yep. And people who clean the house and so on. And all she ever does is play pranks, basically. She likes to play hide and seek. One time a caretaker was going up the staircase, this was a couple of summers ago, spotted the little girl chasing up the staircase ahead of him. And he thought, what the heck is she doing in here? And had never seen her before. And went up the stairs, and there she was standing behind the balustrade, looking down at him, giggling. And he said, "What are you doing here?" And he chased after her. She ran and disappeared. And of course he couldn't find her.
So how did she die?
We don't know. We don't know. That's the mystery. Did she die in the house? Was she part of the girls' school? Was there a cover-up? We don't want to reach any conclusions without any hard facts, and we don't have hard facts.
Yeah.
Jason, the place that Amanda and I are going to take you to is so haunted. You're going to be amazed, and I bet you're going to capture something.
Well, I can't wait. This will be really exciting. Greg's story sounds great, and hopefully I can catch a ghostly voice from within these hospital walls. Before we get started, Rob wanted me to test to see if the recorders were working. My name is Jason. Who is better looking between me and Rob? Jason! Did you hear that? That's incredible! Enough playing. Now it's time to go ghosting. Yes. So I'm going to go into this dark room here. I'm going to see if I can catch any EVPs. Oh, it is fucking dark in here. So I am in this small, it's kind of like a bathroom. And I have this recorder, so I'm gonna play it It is pitch black in here. It may not look dark, but it is dark. You don't want to whisper. Okay, so do you know what my name is? First up, come to this light. Tell me what your name is. Do you know what my name is? Can you tell me how you died? What is your name? Just after I said, "What is your name?" a female voice yelled back, "Jason," as if she knew who I was. What is your name? What is your name? Hi, I'm Jason Kenzie. I'm a filmmaker producing my very first paranormal documentary, and I've been invited to join a ghost hunting team to go and explore an abandoned hospital. And after an hour of looking around and asking questions towards any of the unliving, hello? Is anyone here? And I may have just got back an EVP of a little girl saying my name. What is your name? For the next half hour, I didn't pick up anything else, so I headed back to be with the others.
Can you hear it before I say okay?
Yeah.
Watch how it improves as they learn to use the technology. Amanda, if you wouldn't mind.
I'm Amanda Quill, and I'm a paranormal investigator.
And how long have you been doing it for?
I've been investigating since I was 17, so I don't age myself, but close to 30 years.
And you had started a paranormal group?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so I'm the founder of ColdSpotters, and we started in New Westminster probably about 2012, yes. We're worldwide, we're kind of branching out everywhere. And
So how many branches do you have?
we have 36 different branches, although we're probably about 20 that I would say that are active and actually investigating.
Out of the entire time that you've been paranormal investigating, what has been one of the more exciting activities that you come across? Hauntings?
I think one of my most exciting things would be, I think the Alcatraz, like being able to investigate an Alcatraz, like the activity that you get there. It's just, I've never been there and not had an experience, whether it's like someone walking up behind you or hearing grunts and growls from the cells. It's, yeah, and it's such a part of history too, so that I would say that's probably one of my most exciting.
Are you able to see ghosts? Like, what is your history, your background?
My background with paranormal investigation started with ghost stories, so I always say that my journey began and eventually will end with a ghost story. Seeing ghosts, I didn't see my first ghost until I was probably about 24.
What are some of the tools that you use to go ghost hunting?
Tools. I love audio, so I use audio recorders galore.
I see you have a couple back there.
Yes, I did bring some of them.
Do you want to just grab that big one there? What does that do?
So this is, so it just basically, it's a natural EM meter. So you can actually, all the different kind of...
Oh, sounds like it's haunted in here.
Super haunted. Whoa, that's a grumpy ghost.
When it spikes like that?
Well, that one actually, when I turn it on like that, and what you're hearing is it just testing itself, basically. So yeah, when you...
I am definitely haunted.
You're a ghost. Yeah. My favorite, I'm glad you asked. So we do have the old trusty K2, which...
That's like old school.
It's old school, and it's really I think, one of the most misused piece of equipment out there. So I love my Zooms. I have a couple of them, and I have Zoom 4, the H4n, and then
yes.
I have the 2, and these are the ones that I use the most. I have a few of those, and then I have these are my favorite. Yeah, those are the DR60s, the Panasonics.
So what makes them different than the rest?
they're amazing.
They have just a more sensitive mic.
Do an example here. So I'm just going to hit record. Whatever reason, these ones are amazing for picking up EVPs. There is the whole school of thought that it's just like a fault in the recorder, and that's what we're hearing. And there is something that people call it like the angry man, or sounds like something's yelling into the microphone, and that definitely is not paranormal. There was a fault with those recorders, but we get clear voices, like we get clear sentences. There's one place I investigate every time I go, and I get my name like clear as day when I'm asking what my name is. So it's only going to record when there's someone talking. So
that's cool.
So they'll actually pick up EVP. So if we're doing an EVP session right now, and I ask a question, and then we sit in silence, if it's blinking or if it's recording, let's say, you know that we're not speaking. So what is it actually?
Listen very carefully to what Amanda just said. The recorder will only start recording when someone is speaking. This info will come into play later.
This is Jason. Just like to ask you a few questions. When you see the red light come on, it means that we can hear your voice. We can hear what you want to communicate back to us. So the first thing I'd like to ask, if you're willing to respond, are you okay with Jason being here? You know what? Look, this glove's off at this point. You know, Jason's here. He's the guest here. And he's making jokes. He's having fun. If you want to tell him, that. I don't want you here. Now's the opportunity to do so. Tell him to get the out.
Wait, I forgot to surround myself with white light. Give me a second. As I'm starting to draw the golden circle of light around me, I'm nervous. I'm trying to remember what Thelma had taught me earlier.
I put protection around myself really well before I walk into a situation like that.
Do you think I should, circle myself with light?
Oh, I'm going to teach you how to do that before you leave. Yeah, I will. There's no way you're getting out of here without that. You have to have that white light, the silver light, the gold light, all of that, and I'll show you how to do that.
How long will that be on me before it? Like if you put it on me now, how long will it last for?
I won't put it on, you will.
Oh, yeah, when I put it on, how long will it last for?
Until you leave the area that you're going and you get into the shower and you wash. That's what you have to do, yeah. So you'll be totally protected.
Okay, well that's pretty cool because I'm going to be heading to a really haunted location.
Oh, I'd love to go.
And I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Hopefully I have a good time when I'm out at this haunted location.
Mm-hmm.
Get something on camera.
But be careful.
What do we need to show me how to do it?
Okay. What we have are energy forces in our body that it starts here. This is your crown chakra.
Yeah.
Then you have this chakra here, which is your third eye. You have a throat chakra, which allows you to speak. Your heart chakra, which allows you to feel. And then you have your spleen chakra. And then, of course, your sexual chakra. If these are all wide open or wonky, then entities can come into your body. And I have had entities come into my body, but only on my terms, and they usually come in through behind. But you have to protect yourself, so you have to make sure that all these chakras are closed, especially the lower chakras, because they're attracted to that. They're attracted to the sexual energy. They're attracted to all kinds of things, fear, excitement. They will come screaming in, and if they get inside your body, it can't be good for you. So I will train you how to close yourself up. What I like to call the egg. You imagine that you're inside an egg.
Okay, I'll imagine I'm inside an egg now.
Okay.
Is it hard-boiled?
No, it's usually whatever you want to make it, and you have to practice this tonight when you go to bed.
Mine's looking more like scrambled.
No, it's not an egg, it's an egg shape. Just imagine it's something from another planet. Silver on the outside. And inside you can have whatever colors you like, but it's nice and it's comfortable, it's warm, it's safe. It's like being in your mother's womb. It's really safe, it's lovely.
I remember that.
And then the outside is hard. And what I do, if I think I'm going into danger, I make the outside of it a mirror. So whatever's coming at me bounces back to them. And I can get into it just by doing this, because that closes the crown chakra and all the others close at the same time.
Oh, that's interesting. Once I'm closed off, will that stop me seeing ghosts?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No, no. No, you're there for a certain reason. And it's a good idea when you go into these situations to go in and say, okay, this is what I want to see, this is what I want to hear.
Thelma sounds like a wonderful person. And with all this talk about light protecting you from evil spirits, well, this is fascinating. White light itself is the space within the universe that houses positive energy. It's considered divine and beyond this dimension, as it can be called upon by anyone for assistance, healing, and protection from negative energies or low vibrations. This means we can use white light to protect our aura from outside influences. It creates a shield around us that keeps us safe in a bubble made of pure energy. This prevents negative influences from penetrating and affecting our energy. The color white is used in many spiritual practices and religions all around the world. White is also very healing, helping to repair any weakened state of energy and allowing them to become strong and able to ward off outside or unwanted energy. Black is one of the most powerful colors for protection because of its ability to dissolve the densest forms of negative energy, evil intentions, and chaos that exists around us. Red acts as a reflection, which can be powerful for protecting you and weakening the source that has ill intentions towards you. Finally, close your eyes and use any of these colors to protect you from any evil spirits that might want to do harm towards you.
If you're willing to respond, are you okay with Jason being here?
You know what? Look, this gloves off at this point. You know, Jason's here. He's a guest here. And he's making jokes. He's having fun. If you want to tell him, that. I don't want you here. Now's the opportunity to do so. Tell him to get the out.
Wait, I forgot to surround myself with white light. Give me a second. This is a bad time to be colorblind. There we go. I am now protected.
Wait, I forgot to surround myself with white light. Give me a second.
No. It's not giving you time to protect yourself. Now, listen to your voice. Just because I like everything to be on the up and up, I don't fake evidence. Was anyone, when you were speaking, was anyone talking in this room besides you?
No.
Okay. Let's play that again.
Wait, I forgot to surround myself with white light. Give me a second.
Yeah.
No.
It said no.
No. It is not going to give you a chance to
It
protect.
actually said no.
If I got on with you?
I may be laughing, but inside I was freaking out. Was this truly a creature of death, trying to stop me from protecting myself? Time will tell. Now throw me against the wall, you demon. Well, I did. I protected myself, so here we go. For the next hour, we tried to capture more EVPs, but with no luck. And then Greg and I venture off to another area of this hospital to try our luck. The next thing I know, What we caught on audio sent shivers down my back. So Greg and I, we're gonna go look around this place. The reflection. I scare myself all the time. EVP recorder.
Okay, you want to try and see?
Yeah, see if I can. Can you make a noise, like knock on the wall? Here, let me do it for you. Here we go. Hello, my name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
How did you die?
That was interesting. Play that again.
How did you die?
Wow. So none of us.
No, none of us talked.
Neither of us spoke.
No.
I don't know what that is. It's hard to discern. It could be nothing. It
Sounds
could,
demonic.
But it sounded somewhat aggressive.
Okay, just a sec.
How did you die?
We should play that for Amanda and Jason.
That is crazy. After hearing the audio, that might be an EVP. Greg and I headed back over to Demia, Robb, and Amanda. We wanted to get their opinion on what this EVP is saying.
How did you die?
I mean,
So none of us talked. That was completely...
could you play it again? Just spin it back.
How did you die?
Is that crazy or what?
It's like almost sounds like that whole angry man thing, but it doesn't sound like that at first. It's weird. It's like,
How did I die or
The
something?
last word is die.
Yeah, I didn't die.
But the first word to me harkens back to something that Maia was telling me that is going to tell you. Just listen, just the first word.
How did you die?
Hung.
Hung?
All right. Maia,
Yes, sir.
you have something to share about this building?
Yes, it's actual fact that people have hung themselves in this building.
So maybe it said hung, that's how I died.
Hung and died are irrefutable.
We're gonna wrap it up now.
I'll text you.
I want to say, Rob, thank you so much.
Been a pleasure.
And you too, my dear. So nice. And you, Tiny Tim, because he's standing right now, you can tell.
I'm the
So cute.
So
diminutive member of it.
You know, we caught a few EVPs, possibly. I'll have to go home and listen to it on the computer. But this has been so much fun. And, well, on to the next ghostly adventure. The paranormal realm has unique qualities that is so different than my Bigfoot investigations. These mixed phenomena, they require diligence and an ongoing documentation. Are they voices from beyond the grave that are trying to communicate? My time here studying these ghostly voices, well, I'm not done yet. At this point, there are so many questions that I need answers for. So if you're curious, like I am, well, stay tuned. My name is Jason Kenzie, and I'm inviting you to join me on my paranormal adventures. I'll see you later.
you.